When you hear about Stoicism, whose names come to mind? Is it Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who wrote Meditations? Or perhaps Seneca, the dramatist and advisor to emperors? Maybe Epictetus, the enslaved man-turned-teacher who proved that wisdom knows no social bounds? But there's one name that often gets overshadowed: Musonius Rufus, known as the Roman Socrates. Why? Because Musonius wasn't just a teacher, he was a revolutionary. He didn't just talk about philosophy, he embodied it. He showed how philosophy could be lived, even under the harshest circumstances. Musonius believed that adversity wasn't something to be avoided. It was a furnace that forged character. In a world obsessed with comfort and convenience, his teachings might feel radical. But could they hold the key to solving modern problems like stress, uncertainty, and dissatisfaction? Today, we're going to rediscover this forgotten Stoic and uncover wisdom that could transform your life. Musonius's life and legacy. Musonius Rufus lived during one of the most volatile periods in Roman history, the 1st century AD. Imagine a world ruled by emperors like Nero, whose whims could destroy lives overnight. In this chaos, Musonius emerged as a beacon of moral clarity. Born in Volsinii, Italy, Musonius wasn't content with merely studying philosophy. He wanted to live it. His courage often put him at odds with the powers of his time. For example, when he publicly criticized Nero's tyranny, he was exiled to a barren island. Think about that for a moment. Standing up to one of the most ruthless rulers in history, knowing it could cost you everything. But did he complain? Musonius used his exile as an opportunity to teach others, proving that philosophy wasn't bound by location or circumstance. His commitment to virtue earned him the nickname the Roman Socrates. Like Socrates, Musonius asked tough questions and challenged his students to lead lives of purpose and integrity. Despite his influence, his teachings are mostly preserved in fragments and second-hand accounts. This raises a crucial question. How did a man with such profound insights fade into obscurity, while others, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, became household names? Could it be because he emphasized action over fame? The 4 core teachings of Musonius Rufus. Musonius' philosophy wasn't about grand theories or lofty ideals. It was about how you live your life, day by day. Let's break down 4 of his most impactful teachings and see how they might apply to your own life. 1. Virtue is everything. For Musonius, virtue wasn't just about what you believe, it was about what you do. He believed that every action, no matter how small, should align with your moral values. Picture this. You're tempted to take a shortcut at work, thinking it's not a big deal. Musonius would argue that even small compromises chip away at your character. Virtue, he said, is a habit that must be practiced consistently, like exercising a muscle. 2. Resilience in adversity. Musonius lived through multiple exiles, yet he never saw himself as a victim. Instead, he taught that adversity is life's ultimate teacher. In his words, the person who has been instructed in philosophy will be able to endure poverty and exile and grief. Think about how empowering that mindset is. What if you saw every challenge not as a setback, but as a chance to grow stronger? 3. Philosophy for everyone. Unlike many of his peers, Musonius believed that philosophy wasn't just for elite men. He argued that women too should study philosophy to live virtuous lives. In an age when women were often relegated to domestic roles, this was revolutionary. He didn't just talk about equality, he lived it, teaching men and women alike. 4. Mastery over desire. In a world dominated by instant gratification, Musonius's teachings on self-control feel incredibly relevant. He believed that true freedom comes not from indulging every desire, but from mastering them. He would ask, are you in control of your impulses, or are they controlling you? His advice rings true for everything from managing your screen time to overcoming unhealthy habits. Relevance today. Musonius Rufus may have lived 2,000 years ago, but his teachings are startlingly relevant in today's world. Let's explore how his wisdom can help us navigate modern challenges. First, let's talk about resilience. Musonius taught that hardship is inevitable, but it doesn't have to define you. Compare this to modern psychology, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which emphasizes changing your perception of negative events to reduce their emotional impact. Whether you're dealing with a career setback or a personal loss, Musonius's philosophy reminds us that we can't control what happens, but we can control how we respond. Next, consider his belief in simplicity and moderation. In an age of endless scrolling, consumerism, and social comparison, Musonius would urge us to ask, what do I truly need to be happy? He believed that material wealth was fleeting and that true happiness comes from living in harmony with nature and virtue. His perspective feels like an antidote to the burnout and dissatisfaction so many of us experience today. And then there's his commitment to gender equality. In a world still grappling with issues of fairness and inclusion, Musonius's belief in equal philosophical education for men and women feels ahead of its time. Imagine if more people embraced his vision, a world where everyone has access to the tools for self-improvement and virtue, regardless of gender. Musonius Rufus was more than a philosopher. He was a guide for living a meaningful and resilient life. He taught us that virtue isn't optional, adversity isn't insurmountable, and philosophy is for everyone. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by modern life, his teachings offer a roadmap back to simplicity, self-control, and inner peace. So, let's bring Musonius Rufus out of the shadows and give his wisdom the recognition it deserves. What part of his philosophy resonates most with you? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're hungry for more timeless wisdom that can help you thrive in today's world, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Together, we'll uncover the secrets of ancient wisdom and make them work for us. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic,